Hello everyone, Happy New Year. I hope you're all getting back from a great Christmas holiday and had a Happy New Year. In today's video, I'm just going to briefly talk about the educational material for January. It's on active minds and mental health. So it's discussing different topics on mental health, mental illness, dementia being the big one, Parkinson's, stroke, and sleep. So in this video, I want to focus more on anyone that's instructing a retirement home exercise class and some of the challenges that you face when the participants have dementia. And so I just have some tips on how you can instruct an exercise class for people with dementia. So the big one being that we need to keep all of our instructions simple, clear, and nice and loud so that they can hear you. So for example, if you're describing how to do a bicep curl, keeping it clear and simple instructions that they'd understand, just asking them to do an elbow bend. They may not understand what a bicep curl is, so just performing an elbow bend. Avoid counting out your reps, so 1, 2, this may confuse some residents. So if you avoid counting, just count to yourself in your head so you know how many repetitions you have done. But most of the time, participants with dementia don't need you to be counting out loud. They're following along. You want to demonstrate each exercise appropriately. Many of the participants may not hear or may not understand what you're saying, but they are watching exactly what you're doing. So if you're performing a sit to stand, perform it exactly how you would like them to do it. So pushing up from the chair and then hanging onto their walker. Or for example, if they were doing the seated row, demonstrate slowly how you would put the TheraBand around the bottom of their feet and pull back on the TheraBand. So demonstrating it clearly and appropriately how you would like them to do it. When you're using different pieces of equipment, so TheraBand or ankle weights or hand weights, participants may need help with setup. So it might mean that you're going around to each individual and helping them get set up, putting their ankle weights on, or showing them how to appropriately perform an exercise with a TheraBand. So an example being the tricep extension with the TheraBand. You're asking them to hold one end at their chest and pulling down with the opposite arm. You might have to go around and get everybody set up appropriately so that they're doing the exercise appropriately. Residents or participants with dementia, they may be at a higher risk for falls, so just making sure that you're taking the proper precautions. If they're in a wheelchair or they have an assistive device, a walker or a cane, that they're using those while performing any standing exercises. And if possible, a good precaution is just to have a chair behind them while they're standing and their assistive device in front of them or a chair in front of them. So while they're standing, they have something to support them and something to hang on to, and they also have a chair behind them if they did need to suddenly sit down. So just a precaution that you can take while you're doing any balance or standing exercises. So we want to be safely challenging their balance, and you want to demonstrate what you're asking them to do. So if you want them to hang on to the chair or hang on to their walker with both hands, you're demonstrating that as well as clearly and loudly instructing them what to do, because they'll be watching you. So you can hang on to the chair and then instruct them to stand on one foot. And an idea to make the exercises more functional or explain why you're doing them. So you're doing range of motion of the wrists, because this helps with opening door handles. You're doing fingertip touches. This helps with fine motor skills or buttoning a shirt. You're doing strengthening exercises for your biceps because it's helpful to carry things. We're working on sit-to-stands because it's really important to have strong legs when you're getting on and off the toilet. and it helps us to stay independent longer. So just explaining why we're doing certain exercises that we are. And when it comes to delivering the education material in a retirement home class, make sure that you're turning off any music, eliminating any distractions, so that they can hear you and understand what the education material that you're delivering. You want to read it clearly and loudly. And if you feel that the material isn't appropriate for a participant that lives in a retirement home, just reminding them that that information is also helpful or useful when they're out visiting family and friends. So it might not pertain to them while they're living at the retirement home, but if they're going out for day trips or going out with family and friends, that's when they can use some of that educational material that you've been discussing in class. So hopefully that gives you some tips and ideas that you can use in your retirement home exercise classes. Thank you.